What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 45 of the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. On this episode, we are talking Astropulse Reincarnation, Mark of the Deep, Mecha BREAK, and AFTERBLAST.
Roll the window down. This cool night air is curious. Let the whole world look in. Who cares who sees anything?
Sounds kind of like teen angst. I'm gonna say like a Coldplay.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
You are now tuned in to the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast.
I love it when you talk nerdy to me.
Ooh, you were kind of close to same era. We are talking, of course, a little Deftones today, and I'm gonna throw that out there because friend of the channel, Mama Talks, has recently got us back into the Deftones, and I was like, dude, I forgot how good the Deftones were, and I recently picked up this album, and I'm super excited. So, Deftones fans out there, if you guys are vinyl fans, Deftones fans, please check out the White Pony 20th anniversary vinyl set. It's super sick. So
That is really cool.
the thing that's cool about this is it's actually 2 albums, right? So of course we have the original White Pony,
Yeah.
which is a great album. But
Yeah.
there's a project that the lead singer did that he wanted to get a bunch of DJs to remix the entire album. So he did that for this 20th anniversary, and it's actually a 2-part album, and the second part is called Black Stallion to go along with White Pony, and this is all of the DJ remakes for the entire album. It's so sick.
That's really cool. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
It was such
Well,
a cool idea.
We added one to our vinyl collection too. It's not right behind me. I think my wife is just so infatuated with it and doesn't want to put it on the shelf yet. And that is the new, I bet you can guess it. My wife ordered it for us.
Taylor Swift.
How did you know?
Let's go.
Something,
Let's go.
Is it something Tortured Poets something?
Is that her new album?
Something like that. I can't remember the name of it. We listened to it on the way to Florida because we just got back from vacation. I think 2 times fully through.
Is this the album that everybody's freaking out about because there's like 4 or 5 explicit tracks on it?
She says the F word in quite a few of them, to be honest.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. They're pretty explicit. But I don't know what's good with Taylor Swift anymore. I just kind of listen to it as my wife listens to it because she is a Swiftie. She got like a keychain that is like Eras Tour, and I'm like, nice.
Taylor Swift spent like 4 hours with Post Malone, and now it's all just straight downhill for T Swift.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she made one Post Malone song. But Dave, what have you been playing? What have you been up to?
Just chilling, man. Actually, I've been getting a little bit into the gaming, and as you know, a game that I was super excited about ended up coming out. We are, of course, talking Stellar Blade, and I will tell you what, my Blade is stellar.
Ooh, I thought it was average.
Well, to start off, it was average, but now it is stellar.
Nice. So all your hype for that game has lived up to its expectation?
I will say, yeah.
Okay.
We, usually we try to give games the benefit of the doubt here, and just kind of hype them up a little bit. But I think for this one specifically, the hype is warranted because, man, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. I mean, and I played the demo, so I kind of knew a lot getting into it. But again, guys, if you guys are kind of on the fence of like, oh, this is a Souls-like, I don't really like that kind of stuff. Like, it is not. It is a get in. It's well crafted, and the combat system is very well done, but it is 100% a hack and slash button masher, and you just go in there and just murder ball stuff, and you know that I absolutely love that.
That's good. Yeah, you've been trying to get me to play it, but as you know, my backlog is, which is like it's like the hardest thing of doing this podcast because you want to play so many games that we talk about in the episodes, but it's like, okay, I still have a full-time job. I have other hobbies. I have a toddler. I'm going on vacation. It's hard to put it all together. And I really wanted to play Sandland and make a review on that, and because I was excited about it. But I went on vacation, and you take a vacation, you just get in farther in the backlog. But other than that, my vacation was good. I went to Florida. You know what skimboarding is? like on the
Yeah.
edge of the water where you jump on the
Yeah,
board and
yeah, yeah.
slide.
Yeah,
I
when you like
tried
run
that.
and like throw the board.
Yeah, I tried that.
Yeah,
It didn't go well.
No, I tried
No.
that one time and like I could there. Okay, it's like a 50-50 chance, and you know that in your head as you're running full bore towards
Yeah.
this like ridiculous wave that you are either going to slide miraculously into the ocean or you are going to eat it the second you drop that board down.
It was not 50-50. It was 100% eating it every single time. And part of it was, so I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and bought like the cheapest one I could possibly could find.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, it turns out it was like 8 inches too short for me, and it like couldn't hold my weight. And so I was like, okay, let's go to a surf shop and see if I can find one that's like more appropriate. Well, it was like $160. Okay, $160 for one time a year to fall on my face. I was like, nah, I'll keep trying on my $15 Dick's Sporting Goods one. So, but other than that, the vacation was good. I played Suicide Squad a lot on vacation when it was like late, but other than that, it was a good time.
Adam lives Sandland for real.
Yeah,
He didn't have to do a review and play the game. He just lived
went to
on
the
the
Sandland.
beach.
Yeah. I will say there was sand everywhere in my shorts, in my car, in my like all over my son and his hair. It was everywhere. That's one thing. My only gripe with the beach is like you can never get rid of the sand, no matter what you do.
I'm not a beach guy. I'm not gonna. I love the idea of the beach, but I want to be like, you know, when they have like some beaches that is like the beach and then there's like a separate pier section with restaurants and stuff like that. I'm the up on the pier guy because
Gotcha. Enjoying
just,
the water from afar.
Yeah, I need to stay away from the sand.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Right. But I get sidetracked. We're getting way off track. Vacation was good. Stellar Blade is good. Check it out. If you haven't seen our little preview of it, go ahead and check that out too. And now, first game of the night, Dave, Astropulse Reincarnation. I'm going to let you just take it away because I tried my best and all I did to myself was confuse myself. Everything I learned about this game.
Adam, do you know the one way to get me interested in a shooting game?
Make a 5-minute trailer showing no gameplay.
You give it Dark Souls lore.
Okay. It does have a lot of that stuff, and it confused me. And I think that's probably why I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what it is. But it's also a 5-minute trailer with no gameplay and just talking. And I will say the lady's voice at the beginning of the trailer is very creepy. So if we need to, let me know when to pull that up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull up the trailer because,
Okay.
like Adam said, it is a very long, and this is a game coming from Imaginary Studios. I believe I'm saying that right. But I honestly, guys, you guys know that I'm not the biggest shooting guy. This game, on the other hand, sparks my interest like no other. Adam, you have no interest in this game whatsoever?
I think I just confused myself.
Okay, so basically this is a single-player sci-fi
Right.
third-person shooter RPG.
Right.
Yeah, and so, I mean, like, knowing that,
I think
And
I was
that-
trying to hook myself too much onto the lore. So
yeah, I think people are doing that too because, like Adam said, this is a 5-minute trailer of just nothing but like story stuff. It's a cinematic trailer, but I think what they're really kind of showing right now is just how in depth the lore behind the story is. And I think for me, that's probably one of the biggest like pulls towards it. Is I'm generally not interested in like single player shooter like campaigns. Now there's a lot of ones that are really good. Don't get me wrong, Last of Us, you know, Uncharted. Like there is shooter games that really kind of delve into the single player experience, but not many, dude. There's like most shooter titles are very focused on the multiplayer experience, and like the campaign always kind of comes secondary. And that's not the case with this. This is ridiculously entangled in this story, and basically the story that we're kind of
watching in the trailer.
We're kind of watching right now is if you guys are just listening, and I will be honest, it's moving kind of slow, but we're looking at what seems to be like these ancient like deities. Like I don't know if this is like a bunch of like gods or something like that, but it's the one is crying blood right now, and if you just look at like the visuals that we're kind of seeing, like it looks like this god is kind of entangled within this, I don't know, like a secondary god, and he pulls his chest open right now, and then all of these like underworld minions are kind of like coming together and like feeding him with energy and stuff like that, which I feel like this is going to be the main antagonist of the game that's kind of coming to life. But it just looks so Bloodborne-esque, like so HP Lovecraft. Like there's like tongues like shooting into his back right now, like giving him his power, and then there's like this matrix tongue that's coming out and just stabs him in the back of that. Like, it's so crazy. Do you think this is like, is this interesting you at all?
I mean, a little bit, but like this kind of stuff isn't for me. Like this kind of feel of a game, it's kind of like grosses me out in a way, if that makes sense.
That's what I like. When the game grosses people out, that's when the lore is like on point for me, because I love that stuff. It's so HP Lovecraft inspired, and the game itself, guys, if you don't know anything about the game itself is going to be set on a war-torn futuristic Earth, and this story is going to be spanning billions of years. And basically what they're going to be talking about is they're tracing this cosmic energy known as the Astropulse. And the Astropulse, obviously the name given to the game, and it arrived on Earth via a meteorite 250 million years ago. And because of that, it drastically altered Earth's biological evolution, which has led to a whole different type of species, reshaping human civilization as we know it. And the most important thing is that it has brought this war with these, they call them eldritch entities. And I actually had to look this up and see what it was like. And eldritch entities are beings whose forms or appearances cannot be comprehended by the human mind. They conform to no rules, no patterns, or no laws. And a good example of this is H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu. So, like, you can see how this kind of idea of bringing in these Cthulhu-style monsters, like, into this world, and it's a war between humankind and these monsters. And you can see it in the trailer right there, where that guy was literally just, like, shooting that thing in the face and had no effect. And, like, you see, like, the heart being entangled. You're seeing, like, this chick right now with these gigantic, like, butterfly wings. Like, these are very Cthulhu-style monsters, very H.P. Lovecraft, and I'm just absolutely in love with this. I'm so in love with this, and I want to dive deep into the story, and I want to find out who all these characters are, what they're trying to do. Like, I just want to uncover every aspect of this story.
I think my biggest question is like, I want to see gameplay of what this is going to be. Like,
100%.
obviously, yeah, and I think this game is a far away from like being released. I don't think did they say it's this year?
No, this is not going to be a this year title. This is a 2025 title, which is why we're only getting a cinematic at the moment. So yeah, obviously, guys, this is going to 1000% depend on the gameplay trailer. I need to see the gameplay. Like, I need to know how this works. I need to see that they've put the same amount of effort into the actual gameplay as they have into the lore. But if the gameplay is like 10 out of 10, this could be a game of the year contender. Like, I really think it could be.
It definitely could be. I find it funny. So there was a comment that I saw in the video of this trailer. It's like, oh, it looks like a very fun RPG, and then it's like, next comment, turn-based, like, static game. It was like, that's kind of funny. But other than that, I do think visually the cinematics are really good. The lore that's behind it, like you described much of it, I'm just so confused on where it's gonna go, if that makes sense. Like, I think that, and there's a bunch on their website, and it was just all confusing me the more I read. But now that you explained it a little bit more, it makes a little bit more sense. But now, when it says it's a sci-fi saga that spans different media platforms, and it's like games, film, novels, does that just mean they're going to be bringing more to this series, or they've had stuff like books and stuff before this?
No, and I think that's probably where a lot of the confusion is coming in with a lot of people. So this is being headed up by Wei Wang from Blizzard. So I mean, like, honestly, that's just comforting to me real quick, knowing that, this is coming from Wang from Blizzard, because I know the projects that he's worked on. So I have a lot of faith in him alone. And what they're trying to do here is they're working on like short films, comics, graphic novels, stuff like that to go along with this game. And what they're really trying to do here is create like a universe IP. they don't want to just create a game. Like they want to create a game, but they want to create. I think what they're really trying to do is just create the IP. You know what I mean? And they want this to like branch into other mediums, which I think is really really cool because you know the games that I love have done this before. Like Bloodborne has a comic book series. It's fantastic. Like it's fantastic. It's great. So if the game is a 10 out of 10 and all of this stuff comes along with it, that's fantastic. Now I know a lot of people are kind of like worried about this because it's like, yo, you should probably just focus on making a good game before you're worried about making a graphic novel to go along with the game. But in the same context, I think that like I have faith in I have faith in them to do the game justice and kind of move the rest of the stuff to the secondary like pedestal instead of trying to focus on everything all at once. So I'm not super concerned about it. But if the game is good, we're gonna get a lot of stuff that goes along with the game, and I think that's really important because in a story like this, especially kind of the deep diving that I've been doing on it, I think it's going to be really hard to tell every single aspect of this story in just a game. Like it's going to be really hard. It's a lot like the Dark Souls series of like, like I say all the time, like if you really want to know the lore, like you have to jump around and you have to find this random helmet on this dead like soldier in the middle of a swamp and read the description, and then it's like, oh, you get a chunk of this lore, right? It's like it's kind of the same thing. So if the game does really good, the story should be really good, and they're going to be able to express that story in other mediums that are much more easily consumable.
I think I really like that because with like I'm trying to think, when I play games like that and you collect something and it gives you a big long description, I don't spend the time to read it. I was like, oh, it's just all right, let's keep moving. Like I ignore that stuff. But I feel like you said, if it's in a comic book and it's one like consistent medium that I'm not trying to play a game, I'm trying to read this comic or I'm trying to watch this TV show. Like I think that really helps. And like you said, like yes, they're focusing on this game right now and they're expanding it, but like it's working for other games like Bloodborne, like you said. But most recently, Fallout. Like look what they did with this series. I watched it. It is so good, and now people are going back to all these Fallout games, and like IGN's releasing a bunch of like how to's to get started in the game. It's like, so if you can just keep everybody connected with all those different mediums, that's really good for not only the game but for the consumer too.
I think it's great. No, like you said with Fallout, it's just like they put so much effort behind the story that it would, it like you said, it's hard for people to jump mediums, right? So if you're playing a game, you want to play a game. If you're watching a movie, you want to watch the movie. You're reading a book, you want to read the book. And it's hard for people, even like diehard, Souls like fans. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I've played every Souls game a billion times. I've collected stuff and not read the lore. Like I've done it just because you're not in that mindset at the moment. And this gives you the opportunity of like, hey, this story is really, really good. Maybe you've missed a couple things on your playthrough of the game. Here's everything you missed in a much more consumable kind of medium. And I think it's a fantastic idea.
When they do this, do you think it's going to be like canon where like you play the game and then like after you play the game, you have to read this comic before, let's say, game 2 comes out, and then it makes more sense? Or do you think it's going to be like all kind of condensed within each other, if that makes sense?
I think people are a little nervous about this, and rightfully so. I understand why people are concerned about this, but I think the way that they're doing this, it's very obvious to me that their number one priority is this game. And if the number one priority is not the game, putting out a 5-minute cinematic trailer, seems like the wrong move. You know what I mean? Like it's very obvious to me that this game is going to be, their number one focus. Like 95% of their focus is going towards this game, and like the other 5% is going towards like graphic novels and stuff like that. So I would say that they're probably going to do it as a recap because that's kind of what Bloodborne did. Bloodborne came out, the game was great, people loved the lore, and then the series came out after the game, and it literally just kind of followed along with the game and kind of went into deeper dives of characters that you met throughout the game. Now, you might have met a character. So a great example in Bloodborne is the character Ellen. Ellen the Crow. You meet her a lot within the game, but you don't really get to know her story other than a few kind of key aspects that relate to the gameplay of the game that you're playing. But if you read the comic book, when you're introduced to Ellen, you get like a real backstory of who she is and what her role within the world is. And I think that's what we're going to be getting with this. Is it's like it's going to follow along with the game, but you're going to get just like a deeper dive into these characters.
And like you look at like other games like Mario, they're starting to do stuff like that, and like it's working for them. And I think it's hard. I will say it's hard to. Or I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to say we're gonna do it and not like be established yet. I feel like the games that are more established is where they start creating that stuff. So do you think if this game like does tank, they'll kind of drop everything, or they're gonna try forcing it all?
100%. If the game tanks, I don't see any short films or comic book series in the future. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I'm trying to say is like I really believe in the game, and I really believe in the creators, and I really believe in this. I really believe in this story. I feel like this story has worked before, and this gameplay has worked before. People have seen this gameplay and have really liked it. It reminds me a lot of a game that I tried to get you to play that I said you would absolutely love. Do you remember the name of the game?
There's a bunch. I don't know.
Remnant 2.
Oh, you did. I did not play that one, but yes, you tried to get me to play that one.
This reminds me so much of Remnant 2, and basically what Remnant is, if you guys don't know, it's just like this. It's a Souls-like RPG, but it's shooter based. It's a shooter game. That's an RPG, very story driven game, and people love that game. Like they love it, and they love the lore behind it. And it's just, this is very much just following and like if this game came out and they changed the title to Remnant 3, I would be like, yeah. Remnant 3 looks dope.
Right. That's cool. Okay.
So I think it's going to be really, really good. It's definitely something to keep on your radar. If you guys are fans of the Remnant games, definitely keep this one on the radar. I understand people's concerns about it right now with all the rest of the kind of, we're going to put this into a medium of and making an entire IP universe. I understand the concerns, but I think, again, just to ease those concerns, it's a 5-minute cinematic trailer that looks epic. Like they're obviously really putting time into this game. Again, 100%. I agree with you guys. This is going to come down to the gameplay. I need to see the gameplay before I give this a seal of approval. But right now, this game is on the top tippity top of my watch list.
You're starting to sell me a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. I think I just want to see more come out before I really start like, yeah, I'll try this one. And or maybe I go try Remnant 2 and then really see how it feels in terms of that kind of aspect. But other than that, I think the game has a lot of potential. Like you said, they're putting the effort into what it's going to be.
And the story looks super, super sweet. Definitely put this one on your radar. I think it's going to be, I know it's soon. I need to see some gameplay. If gameplay is 10 out of 10, game of the year contender.
All right, we'll hold you to that. With that said, Dave, it's a shooter game, not your most favorite game, but also single player. And you love single player.
I love single player games. Not typically shooters, but
Yeah.
there's a couple. There's a couple out there that are top notch.
So do you think we should do a draft of the best single player shooter games ever?
Absolutely, flipping the coin.
Okay. Disclaimer. We say first for single player, but it's single player campaign. So I might have a Call of Duty in here, but just so you know, we're talking about the campaigns of these co-op games. Or if you can play it single player.
It can be a multiplayer game. You just have to love it for the single player campaign.
I like it. All right, Dave, you're first.
The first pick, and I promise Adam can have all of his multiplayer games because I have 0 on my list. But with my very first pick, there is only one place to go. The single player shooter that started it all for me. And we are, of course, talking about Doom.
Doom, okay.
I had to do it, dude.
I was on not my list. I've never actually played any of the Dooms.
Oh, you got to.
Okay.
Doom is so sick.
All right, I'll have to give that one a shot. It's a classic now too, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, no, that's maybe top 10 game of all time. Maybe.
Maybe? Question mark?
Maybe? Question mark?
All right, my first pick, like I was talking to Dave before this, I was rooted into playing every single Call of Duty growing up. And yes, more focus goes into multiplayer, but back in the day, I used to love all the campaigns. So my first pick is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare with the great campaign that they had. Amazing campaign.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna divide the audience real quick. I think just all the old heads are gonna be like, Dave's list is sick, and all the new school gamers are gonna be like, Adam's list is dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next up on my list, we are going to go with a little bit of the horror genre. You know, I love me some survival horror. So we are, of course, going to take Resident Evil 4.
Okay, yeah. Didn't they just get a remake of that too?
Yeah, the remake was so good.
Yeah,
too.
they always look so fun, to be honest. I never actually really played them, but I think they look really cool.
Play Resident Evil 4. It's top notch.
Okay, I can't keep adding more to the backlog, but we'll put it in the list. Sorry, I'm gonna carry a book bag with all the games I need to play. But my second pick is a newer game, like Dave said, old school, new school. What are we calling this? That's a shout out to Connor Price. I like his new music, just saying. But I digress. My second pick is the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. The mechanics of that game were so well done, and I just love the aspects of it.
I'm just proud of you for throwing a music line into the show.
That's pretty good, wasn't it?
This is a great episode. This could quite possibly be the best episode we ever done. All right. Number 3. You know, I couldn't do it. It's been on most of my lists so far. So let's just go ahead and get right to it. GoldenEye, little 007 64.
I love it.
It's got to be on the list.
It's gotta be on the list. It's a
It's got to
shooter.
be. Yeah, it's got to be on the list.
Gotta. Okay, we're on our third pick here. I got a lot of good ones because yeah, okay. Well, my third pick is Far Cry 3.
I kind of thought this was going to be on your list, to be honest.
I love all the Far Cry games. I kind of lost my interest because it's kind of the same plot line every time. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like something happens at the beginning and like, yeah, blah. But other than that, I love Far Cry 3.
I think we probably could have got away with just picking 5. I don't think our lists are going to be close at all.
No, they're not. I think we're good.
Okay, next up on my list, we just talked about it. It's an amazing game. You know, it's got to be on the list because it's got Souls lore. We are talking Remnant 2.
I like it.
Loved it.
I can like that.
Shout
No.
out to friend of the show, Maki Lock, for forcing me to play that game.
My friend Drew, he's trying to get me to play it as well. So Dave, Drew, I think I have to play it. But okay.
You got to do it. Drew, get him. Get him, Drew. Get him.
Get him. All right. My fourth pick is Borderlands 3.
I kind of thought this was going to be on your list too.
I love Borderlands.
There's one more IP that I feel needs to be on your list. I'm gonna see if it's coming up next.
I don't think it is. I think because it's more like multiplayer where I think you think I'm going, but I'm not playing it. Not putting it on there. Yeah.
Okay.
But Borderlands in general, I loved 1, 2 as well, but 3, I really sat down and like, that's a game I did all the lore. I picked up everything. I went and did all the side quests. So that's why I love that game.
That's a solid pick. Okay. We're going to wrap up the 5th pick here with, oh my God, we have so many good titles left on this list. There's one that should definitely go on the list, and I don't think we're going to get it. I'm going to do it. All right, I'm taking Uncharted 2. Give me Uncharted 2.
For your final pick, Uncharted 2?
Yeah, Uncharted 2. You know I love me some Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
what's that whole Tomb Raider vibe?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My final pick, I could go a lot of places with this final pick. Shoot. Okay, I think I'm just go with another game that I really love the mechanic with it. It kind of puts in a multiplayer aspect, but really to get through the story, it's a single player story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my final pick is Deathloop. Have you heard of Deathloop?
I have heard of Deathloop.
That one's such a cool game. Like the mechanics of it, where you can only like do different parts or like unlock certain parts of the story at certain times of the day. And if you die, you restart that day. And oh, it's so cool. And somebody can jump into your game and kill you. Like that's cool.
I actually never played it. I feel like I might need to jump in and give it a shot because you're not the only person that's talked to me about it.
It's just got really like it's a cool mechanic, and that's why I really like Guardians of the Galaxy and Deathloop, just the mechanics of it. So,
you know what's sad about these drafts is when I do the draft, I'm constantly thinking of like the short that's gonna go out, and then all the slack we're gonna get for not mentioning certain games.
Let's hear. All right, some honorable mentions. What do you got?
Honorable mentions for me. We got Dead Space. You know, I love me some Dead Space. Deus Ex, Quake, and the two that I feel like we're gonna get a lot of crap for not having on this list are BioShock and Half-Life 2.
Yeah, I never played BioShock. I
I
know
loved
that's one that I
BioShock.
should be playing, or at least give a shot. Some honorable mentions I have here. After all the bugs are fixed, Cyberpunk was really good. I really liked the game after all the bugs were fixed, and there's a lot more to it than bugs. Like the story was cool, like the city was cool, so that's where I'm putting my honorable mention.
I was also wondering, do you think GTAs would have counted for this?
See, I was thinking I was gonna put GTA on it, but I think that's more of like kind of like an action, like you know what I mean. Like it's not like a shooter
Yeah.
game. Like there's more to it than just that. It's like an adventure game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah, it's not solely like shooter. Where like most of these games are solely shooter,
Yeah. Okay. That was a
shooter
great draft.
adventure or whatever. So
That was
yeah,
that,
great
that was a
draft.
great draft.
Let us know in the comments which games should have been on the list and which games that we shouldn't have put on the list because we know we're going to get those comments and we love it. So, but other than that, let's move on to our next game, Mark of the Deep by Mad Mimic, and it's coming out in 2024.
You didn't introduce it right.
I didn't introduce it right?
No,
What did I say wrong?
Adam, it's a pirate game. It's got to be Mark of the Deep.
Mark of the Deep. Arr. It's a pirate-themed adventure. And Dave, I thought you'd like this for a couple reasons. It's a mix of a Metroidvania and a Souls-like. Pretty cool, right?
Yep, I saw that.
Is that all you're excited about? Should I just pull up the trailer and let you describe it?
Let's go ahead and pull up the trailer because the trailer is very interesting. There's a couple things I like about the game. You know what I don't like about the game though? We're just kind of right off the rip. I don't love this new Diablo top kind of 3/4 angled top down view. Yeah, I don't love it.
Okay. Well,
Like
here's the
Hades,
trailer.
Hades is notorious for this. Diablo's notorious for this.
But I like Hades, and that's what like quick thoughts when I first saw this. I was like, oh, a Hades game. Like I thought it was gonna be a roguelike, but it's not. It's an adventure game. But
Right. And guys, if you're just listening, right now what we're looking at is it very much does look like Hades. It looks a lot like Hades. It looks darker though. It has this like very like kind of green kind of tint to it, a very cold like temperature feel, if that makes sense to you guys. That gives it this almost kind of like eerie vibe, and I think it's an interesting game style. And I think that like the characters right now we're seeing this like hammerhead shark, so I mean I think it's going to be very, very interesting. But my number one question to you, Adam, is I saw that they're saying that this is Souls-like, and I don't know how.
I think it's gonna be some of the bosses. I think they're saying the bosses are what's gonna be like Souls-like. So a little bit farther on the trailer, we'll see like where they come up to some of these really large bosses, and I think it's going to be Souls-like in terms of like the bosses are hard, they'll have different phases, and I think that's where that's coming from, not so much the mechanics of it.
Okay, because I was
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
because I was kind of lost because they keep saying it's a Souls-like, and I'm just like trying to find the Souls-like elements to it, and I just can't pick them up.
And I wonder if like some of the so like this boss here, I wonder, or like these two, I think he's gonna have like certain like phases and things like that. But I wonder, like I didn't get to see so much on the like if there's gonna be like a character attributes thing and like that. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I didn't see much on that side of things.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to like really confirm this is a Souls-like without knowing much about like the way that this is going to kind of work, because it's very interesting to combine these two genres together, a Souls-like and a Metroidvania. It seems difficult. It seems difficult to do that because it's almost contradictory. You know what I mean? Like a Souls-like is really about kind of leveling up your character and creating a build, where a Metroidvania is like you still level up your character, but like 90% of these level ups are for the run. You know, it's not stuff that you keep. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. That's where I guess I was getting kind of confused on it.
Well, are you confusing Metroidvania with roguelite? Because Metroidvania is a lot like Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, and that where you got to keep it. I think that's where you might be confusing yourself a little bit. So it's not a roguelite. It's a Metroidvania in terms of like, you know how like you can go in and out like Hollow Knight and things like that.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now this makes more sense. I'm just an idiot.
So I think it's going to be very similar to Hollow Knight and Prince of Persia: Lost Crown with that kind of mechanic to it. But I'm just curious on what the attributes and the abilities are going to be, and like that, like the skill tree is going to be like. If it's going to be where you pick what you level up, kind of how you do in a Souls like, if that makes sense.
I think it's gonna be very spell kind of focused, because the story behind this is basically you guys have been shipwrecked on this cursed island, and you are playing as the one main character, and you need to find the remaining, like the missing members of your crew from the shipwreck. And then throughout the entire story, you're kind of learning that this island was cursed back when a cultist leader called the Old Folk, which is like the native like inhabitants of the time, imprisoned the Leviathan.
Leviathan. Wow, it's a word I knew, but you didn't. I'm actually kind of happy about that.
I did not know that word. In a quest for immortality, and the Leviathan. Did I say that right?
Leviathan.
The Leviathan is like a mystical sea creature. So I think it's gonna have this like kind of like undead kind of spelly kind of eerie vibe behind it.
So kind of going off I think the color tone of the game, like you said, it gives a different vibe. I think that color tone really does give that cursed like vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you see this in
it's eerie, but also like feels like it's cursed, and I really like that.
You see this tone in like a lot of movies, like a lot of like horror movies use this very like deep green kind of bluish tone. You see it like Fight Club is notorious for just like a kind of unsettling feel, and you see it in a bunch of games too. And I love that style. I love like take the blues and drag them down, and I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do too. I think it adds to the aesthetic and the mood of the game. So one thing I thought was really cool going along with the story as well is there's gonna be multiple endings, which I always think is really fun with the game. It gives it more replay value. I'm just kind of curious on like how many endings they're just gonna have in it, but that's really cool to me.
I always love the multiple endings. You know, I'm a huge sucker for a game with multiple endings. I gotta collect them all. Again, I mean, I'm looking at the gameplay though. This feels a lot like Hades.
I definitely agree. It has Hades vibes. Also has like a little bit of Hollow Knight, and then Death's Door is another game. I've never played that one, but people are comparing it to Death's Door. I think they say the gameplay is very fast paced, but I don't see how fast paced it really is. Another game we're going to be talking about is very fast paced, but I think the traversal and the abilities that they're going to be acquiring throughout the game looks really cool. Like if you saw the water where you can suck yourself into water and jump out somewhere else. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and guys, if you guys are just listening, if you didn't have a chance to see the trailer, there's a lot more platforming in this than I think people are expecting.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hades wasn't really so much about the platforming. This 100% looks like you're having some platforming challenges, and I would love to see. I hope they come out with a second trailer, because the thing in this trailer is like I'm trying to get a feel of the gameplay, but it's almost like they cut too many sections together too fast, where it's like you get just a like I would love to see like a 15-second one clip of gameplay, but they just keep cutting away.
I noticed that with the boss fights too. They show all these bosses appearing, and they're like, "Oh, here's it," and like next boss. It's like, no, but let me see you fight the boss. Let me see a little bit about it. And I agree. I wish they would have let it extend a little bit longer. This game did have a demo, I believe, or. I think this game did have a demo. I missed it, so I didn't get to play it. So, but yeah.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, if you guys are into that stuff, you definitely drop it on the radar. Price points, if I had to look at it, probably like $40.
I don't even think it'd be that much. It's a small developer. I don't think they have a game more than $20.
No? Okay. Mad Mimic is the developer.
Mad Mimic is the developer. It's supposed to come out this year at some point. And like I said, I don't think this game will be much more than $20. And yeah, it looks fun. It gives me very fun vibes like I had with Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. I don't think it's that in depth, but like if you're looking for a quick game like the others that we mentioned, then this might be a game for you. And it has pirates.
If you dig Hades and you love pirates, like this is your game.
Not a roguelite, but a Metroidvania. So,
Metroidvania, I am dumb.
but other than that, it's got really cool pirates. Dave, you get to introduce this one.
It does have very cool pirates. I don't know if they're going to hit the list of the best pop culture pirates of all time, but we will find out in just a few short minutes. Adam.
Oh, wait, no, I'm first. I'll let you go first. I'm going first.
Are you just eliminating the coin from the show?
Here, okay. I just remember it flows with the editing. I have to do it this way.
I'm sorry.
How about we do it this way going forward?
I'm sorry, Two-Face Coin. He doesn't love you anymore.
I love the Two-Face Coin.
You can't be part of the show. You won anyway.
Oh, cool. But anyway, how about we do this? We'll flip the coin, and then whoever's second introduces the draft.
Oh, okay. I like that idea.
Yeah, there we go. So
Yeah.
you're still introducing because I won anyway.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the draft of the best pop culture pirates of all time.
Pop culture pirates. That's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
I really had to enunciate that. Okay,
Yeah.
Adam, you are up.
Okay, I think there's only one place to go with this draft.
If you take my number one pick, I will walk.
Well, now I feel bad, but I'm going to take it anyway. My first pick is Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's not my first pick.
What?
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. Okay. I'm super excited.
I think I know who you're going to take.
Spoiler alert, Jack Sparrow was number 6 on my list. He didn't even make the top 5.
You're crazy.
I might be. Okay. With my very first pick, there
Is he a
only...
space pirate?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He's an old pirate.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because I'm an old head. My very first pick is going to be Captain Hook.
Ooh. Yeah.
Adam doesn't like it. Adam doesn't like the pick.
It.
No.
I don't like it.
I'm going Captain Hook. I think he's one of the greatest pirates of all time, specifically Dustin Hoffman's from Hook.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dave. But he's a very notorious pirate. I'll give you that.
Adam hates my pick.
I do not like that pick. Okay, well, since you didn't take this as your number one pick, I feel like I have to take this as my second pick. So I'm taking a space pirate, and my second pick is Han Solo.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We just
Got
did
it.
the Star Wars draft, though. I was trying to not. I was just trying to not get
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff in there. All right, that's a good pick. Okay, Adam is just going to absolutely just hate my picks, and that's okay. But with my very second pick, we are going to go with Long John Silver, specifically Tim Curry's version in The Muppet Treasure Island.
Okay, I like that one, actually. That's not bad. That's a good pick, Dave.
I love me some Muppet Treasure Island.
I like that. That's a good one. See,
The
I'm not hating on all of them.
The Muppet movies are so good. Muppet Christmas Carol,
Yeah,
so good.
I like it. Okay, my third pick. Ooh, I think I'm safe from here on out. So
Yeah, I
my
think we're safe.
Yeah, I know my third pick is Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet?
You ever see that?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I think it's a Pixar, or no, it's not Pixar. It's definitely Disney. But essentially, like, yeah, it's like space pirates again, and like, yeah.
Adam doesn't really like pirates. He just likes space.
No, okay, look up Treasure Planet. Like, after this, you need to go look up Treasure Planet and see what I'm talking about.
What is it streaming on?
Let's see. Watch Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus.
Okay. All right, we'll check it out.
Or it's on Amazon Music or Amazon Video for $4, Google Play Movies for $4, or you can rent it on Apple TV for 99 cents.
I'm going to buy the Blu-ray.
Do it. Now I'm going to go watch Treasure Planet after this. It's such a good movie.
All right, I'm gonna watch Treasure Planet. You're gonna play Remnant, and we're gonna rehash on the next episode.
Dave. 2 hours for one movie or 30 hours for one game. I don't think that's a fair trade.
I tried, guys. I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
Okay, number 3 on my list. I don't know if this one's gonna count, but we'll see if it's gonna count. I would love to have on my list One-Eyed Willie from the Goonies, and I realized that the only time that you see him in the movie, he's dead. But I feel like the legend of One-Eyed Willie is strong enough to put him on the list.
I mean, it's your list, Steve. If that's who you want on your list, you can have it.
One-eyed Willie from the Goonies.
I love it.
Be gentle in the comments, guys.
All right, my fourth pick. I was gonna go another space pirate, but just because you don't like that, I'm gonna switch it around. I'm gonna go Davy Jones again. All right, so my fourth pick is Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Let's go.
There you go.
My favorite pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean is still out there.
I have one idea who she is. Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Dang
Okay. Well, we can't go there now. Okay. Next up on my list, we are going to go to a place that I will never, ever, ever leave off a draft again if there's an opportunity to do it, because apparently it's just not acceptable. And we are going with the dead pirate Roberts from The Princess Bride.
ooh.
If you know, you know. I will never, if there is an opportunity to put The Princess Bride on a draft, it will
You're
be
gonna do it.
there. We're never
gonna do it.
making that mistake ever again.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to do another space pirate, but I love the space pirate. He had such a noble death in Guardians of the Galaxy. So my final pick is Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what do we do? Here? I have a good one and I have a funny one. Do you want the good one or do you want the funny one?
Let's go with the funny one. I think
You
it's
want the funny one?
More track or more
Okay.
comments.
Okay. Next, for the very last pick on the best pop culture pirates of all time, we are going with Captain Crunch, the greatest cereal of all time.
Okay, you can't pick him.
Why?
He's not a pirate. He's a Navy captain. I was going to put that on my list.
What?
Yeah, because I was going to do that too. And then I was like, is he truly a pirate? No, he's not. He is a Navy captain.
The
'Cause he's a
captain.
good guy.
The captain is a good guy.
Yeah.
The cereal doesn't taste as good now.
Yeah. He's not a pirate.
Wah wah wah. Okay.
At least I
fine.
think. I think that's the case. Because I was going to put him on my list because I was like, is Captain Crunch a pirate? No, he's not. He's a Navy captain.
How selfish of me. Let's do all the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my real number 5 pick. Shout out to some of the listeners here. This is a little bit leaning towards a gaming podcast, so I feel like we need to put a little gaming pirate on here. But we're gonna go with some Edward Kenway, little Assassin's Creed, Black Flag.
Ooh, okay. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I was trying to come up with more pirate game characters, and there really isn't a bunch.
There really isn't. No.
I was trying to okay, which one is in Sea of Thieves? And I was like, well, there's no big one that pops up in my head. So I was like, okay, yeah.
I feel like Kenway's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys know any more, drop them down in the comments because I'm super curious to hear it.
And I think there's a bunch of anime pop culture pirates, but unfortunately that's not Dave and I's or Dave and my. Dave and my cup of tea.
Conjugate the verb. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're good. But let us know in the comments below which pirates we forgot, which would be on your list, and what is Captain Crunch a pirate or not?
He will forever be a pirate to me.
I know. That's why I just want to be sure before I put him on my list. But I'm glad you threw it out there so people.
You got any honorable mentions for this?
Honorable mentions? I got Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean. Although, is she technically a pirate? She kind of got abducted and then became a pirate.
Yeah, I feel like towards the end she kind of is like a pirate.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like honorary pirate.
Yeah, she got a name tag that says honorary pirate. And then we got John Silver again from Treasure Planet.
I have to watch this Treasure
You do.
Planet now.
Blackbeard from Pirates of the Caribbean, and a bunch more from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I actually got Blackbeard too, but I got him from Crossbones because he's played by John Malkovich, and I absolutely love him. We got Captain Barbossa, who I actually think is one of the coolest pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean, and surprised that this wasn't on your list. The Flying Dutchman, SpongeBob.
Oh, I screwed up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yep. Forgot about that one. That sucks. But anyway.
Anyways.
On the alcohol side, not alcoholic side, I had a very good time in Florida. So
So
It's
you're
on my
gonna
mind.
put Captain Morgan on the list?
How did you know? Is he a pirate?
Oh, he's clearly a pirate.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if he's a Navy captain again.
He ain't wussing out like Captain Crunch. He's full bore.
Good. All right, moving on. That was a great draft, Dave. I think I won that one because I had a couple space pirates. You didn't. So
Only the comments will tell.
yeah. Moving on.
Pick me.
Pick me. It's me. Mecha Break by Amazing Season or Season.
I think it's C Sun, the way they spelled it.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
the sun. Yeah,
It's an interesting play though.
yeah. It's kind of
And,
cool. It's like
yeah.
Toys R Us. Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, I don't know if you know this. This is not my type of game. I typically hate these types of games. However, if you throw incredible mechs into the business, then it instantly becomes a game that I need to play.
Hold up, Dave. Let's say what it is. Like let's put it out there. It's Transformers. They call them mechs, but they're Transformers. They're mech Transformers. Like it's piloted by people, but in all honesty, they're Transformers. The way they move.
Not all of them, but yes, they are kind of. Oh, okay, they're Transformers.
Yeah, Dave, they're Transformers. Let's
This is
call it
a-
how it is. Let's pull up the trailer because we are talking Mecha Break. It is a battle royale game. Like Dave said, not his typical type of game, but he's bringing it to the table. So let's pull it up.
Yeah, let's go and pull up the trailer. And guys, like Adam said, this is a battle royale game, but it's a little bit more than that. There's a couple different play modes. There's a 3v3, a 6v6, a 60-player PvPvE, which is the battle royale that Adam's talking about. But you know what this honestly reminds me of is this reminds me of Armored Core 6's just PvP arenas. Yeah, that's really what it reminds me of. And it looks so fun. And basically what's going to happen is you are going to be piloting these mechs, which are really kind of Transformers. In the game, they call them mech strikers. And you're going to be able to choose from a bunch of different types of mechs, and all of them are going to have very different capabilities. 7, you said?
Yeah, there's only 7 announced right now, but I'm sure there will be more as the game comes out.
Yeah, and they're all gonna have different abilities. So like one will be like an assault, one will be a melee, one's gonna be like a sniper where you can get like long range attacks. You're gonna have a recon, support, defense, and you're gonna load into this as either a three-person team or a 6-person team. And is it safe to say that this is kind of like Overwatchy?
Not really, to be honest.
Where you have to kind of load in and you have to everybody has their role.
Oh,
and,
yeah. You all pick your own role and things like that. Okay, I see what you're saying with that, but gameplay-wise, not at all. Role-wise, yes.
Yeah, so you're going to be loading in and you're going to be picking your role, and it's really important which role you pick. But I love the fighting style. So if you guys were just listening and you didn't get to see any of the trailer, it's like Armored Core PvP, but it's like on steroids. It's just nonstop, fast-paced motion. And I love the fact that you're gonna have this like ground combat tied in with aerial combat. The animations look fluid. This does have combat actually in the trailer, so the combat looks super fluid, which is key for me. And I'm super excited for this game. And it's really weird because I'm never excited for this type of game ever.
And to go off that was like what drew me to the gameplay immediately. I was like, whoa, like when are you gonna slow down? Like, do we have to slow down? No, it's just go, dive, or like switch over to your like the bipod mech and then switch to the plane, start shooting, jump on somebody, snipe them. I was like, whoa, slow down, this is too cool. Like, it's too cool for me. It's felt like insanely chaotic from the beginning of watching the trailer, if that makes sense.
But chaotic in a good way.
Right.
Chaotic, like things will never get boring. And like the way that I've seen this kind of working is it's almost like a Fortnite situation where you guys are going to be dropping into the map and like certain situation, like you mark on the map and everything like that, and your 3-person, 6-person team all kind of squads up there, collect your upgrades, do whatever you got to do, and then it's just last team standing. And I think doing this with a mech style, because the Armored Core 6 PvP was so fun, and you really kind of like tailored your your mech for the fight, and being able to do that in a battle royal situation is really, really just intriguing to me. And I think one of the coolest aspects about this is like when you're in that PvP VE arena, the 60-person multiplayer.
Was it 60 or 48?
I saw 60.
I think I saw 48. Either way, it's a lot of people.
No, that's a lot of people. And then there's gonna be environmental stuff for the PvE. It's like there's world bosses that kind of spawn while you're in this map too. So it's like, okay, you got to decide, are we going after other teams? Like, are we going to go after this world boss? Because the world boss drops like ridiculous upgrade mats and like all the coolest stuff in the game. And it's like you could be fighting that world boss, and then all of a sudden like another squad comes out of nowhere and like starts fighting you, and it's just like the level of madness that's going to be happening in this is going to be so sick.
I do wonder, how big is this map going to be? Is it going to feel like where you always have to be in this fight, or do you feel like, or is it going to have places where you can kind of like hide in the shadows? Because they do say like there's varieties of ways to play. Like you can play stealthy, or you can go in there guns a-blazing. And so I wonder, like, how is that going to work? Like, are the people that want to play slower and like stealthy going to have that opportunity, or are they always going to be spotted?
I think that this game is going to have a very large arena, and I feel like it has to, especially regardless if it's 48 or 60. That's a lot of teams. That's a lot of players. So you're gonna and then add in world bosses and stuff like that. You're gonna need some room for these teams to move around. And they are gonna have the kind of storm like Fortnite, where it like as it goes on, it compresses the map. And one of the interesting things about that is they said that it's not gonna be like Fortnite that just kind of compresses everything to the middle. Like the storm is gonna kind of gradually move itself throughout the arena in different kind of landscapes. So it's not gonna just kind of be like a circle that's funneling everybody together. It's gonna make the map kind of interesting to play throughout the entire thing. But just the fact that they have that they are gonna be compressing the map as much like as the game goes on tells me that it's probably gonna be pretty huge.
Right. And I think it has to be with all the aerial combat, because like you see how fast it is. Like they can be across the map in 2 seconds if it's a smaller map. And Warzone does that, or they did that, where like the map would break into 3 zones, and you had to be into those 3 zones, and those 3 zones compress, and then a couple other zones. So it's been done, and it does it really. It's more fun that way, to be honest.
And I think a lot like what Adam said is like this is kind of Transformers. So like a good kind of example of that is there's this character Falcon. So there's this character Falcon where the mech basically turns into a jet fighter, where it's just like, dude, that's so sick. Could you imagine just like you're on the ground, just like melee punching the crap out of somebody, and all of a sudden you just jump in the air and turn into a freaking jet plane, and you're like flying through the mountain, like firing missiles at like, oh, dude, this game is gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be so much fun. And so Falcon is one of them. Like I said, on their website they have 7 mechs right now. There's probably gonna be more as the game like is released and more content's delivered, but they all have different like roles, like we said. And so the 7 are Welkin, who's a brawler; Falcon, who focuses on aerial combat; Panther, who's also a brawler. I'm gonna butcher this one. Alyssness.
I'm so glad you attempted that, because I have it written down and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
And it's an attacker. There's Tricera, who's a defender. I'm also going to butcher these next 2. And Narukami?
I feel like you nailed it. 50 gold stars.
Probably did not. But Sniper and Limine is a support.
Lemonade.
I'm not gonna call her Lemonade, but overall, I think that's a good ground to start with. I think there could have been a little bit more, but it's kind of hard on like what can you do that would make all these different mechs different, if that makes sense. Like you're either flying, you're either a brawler, you're either a defender, but other than that, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. And like I said, I just feel like you can feel the speed of the game, like from the moment the trailer drops, like starts. One thing that with some of that gameplay, like the melee attacks, did you see that they're gonna have parries and dodges?
Yep.
Did they have that in Armored Core?
They did. I mean, Armored Core really does take like a page from the Souls book. I mean, it's a From Software game, so it controls the way that you expect it to control. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm super excited for this game is like I love Armored Core, and this is just Armored Core PvP to like the max, and I think it's going to be really really interesting. And real quick, just with the dodges and the parries and the stuff like that, you know that I love that, and you know that it shows that they've put a lot of time into creating a combat system that's really fluid and works really well. And I was really studying these trailers and kind of looking at the mechanics and trying to find something where I was like, "Ooh, that looks a little janky." I couldn't find anything.
Right.
I really couldn't find anything.
My one question with that though is like, how good is a parry going to be in a multiplayer game? You know what I mean? Like it's using two people's inputs at once, where it's like in like a Souls like it's against a CPU where like the game essentially knows like if you parry at this time it's gonna be good, but the game like I don't know. That's where I'm kind of worried about that mechanic in a multiplayer game.
I think it's gonna be fine because you have the way that the parry works is you always have a what they call a parry window, and the window is the amount of time that you have to hit the parry before the attack hits you. And I think just like it's registering the hit on the hitbox, I don't think it's going to have a hard time registering the parry time either. So I do think it's going to work okay. Now, you're obviously going to get into situations where like maybe somebody's a little laggy, you know what I mean? But you run into that stuff all the time with online multiplayer, and you just have to like I don't know, like I almost like take that one on the chin where it's like if it's super laggy, like it's nobody's fault, really. It's not the game's fault.
I guess they kind of nail this with like multiplayer fighter games, like you know what I mean, like a Mortal Kombat and things like that. So I mean, like I guess it's already kind of been out there, but I don't know. That was just one quick thought I had. I will say, I think with this game, there's gonna be this is what's gonna happen when this game's released. Everybody's gonna start out as a beginner, right? There's gonna be some people that just blow people out of the water, and then like there's you know what I mean. Like that's every competitive game, but I think it's gonna have a huge learning curve to this game.
I think so. Honestly, a lot of the things that I've seen on it, and this game did have like an invitational where they invited a bunch of people to come play the game, and they've had some beta testing already and stuff like that. A lot of the reviews that I've seen from the people that participated in that said it was very easy to get into the game. Yeah, they said it was very fluent and very easy to get into the game. Now, mastering the game is going to be something totally different, but for your just if you're your introductory player, if to just pick it up and just kind of learn the move set, it shouldn't be too hard. But what I will say though is like, I totally agree with you, Adam. There's gonna be people that go nuts here, and I will say like, if the Armored Core 6 players, the PvP players get a hold of this game the way that I think that they're gonna get a hold of this game, you are going to be looking at a whole new level of online multiplayer because these people are just so used to just grinding through the hardest, most challenging things like put set forth to gamers with like no disregard. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be so good at this game. So if the Armored Core fans get a hold of this game, you're probably gonna have to put in some hours.
Watch out.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to put in some practice hours.
It might have like a rank system too, as it, but I also kind of beyond the PvP, the co-op looks really cool. Like you saw in the trailer, like how epic the bosses are. They're huge.
Oh, dude.
They're massive, and it's so cool.
If you could like, you know, what'd be really fun though is if like you could kind of talk to the other team because you could be like, "Yo, guys, like let's just put a truce on for a hot second, and let's kick the crap out of this world boss, and let's collect all this loot, and then we'll kind of part ways, we'll reset, and then we'll go back to fighting each other." Because like, I think that looks like some of the funnest stuff to me. Is like, I don't even really like. It's not that I don't care about the the 60-player multiplayer or the battle royale, but it's like it looks just kind of fun to drop in and kind of kick the crap out of these world bosses together.
I agree. I think it'd be really cool. I wonder if it's gonna be like Sea of Thieves, where you kind of can team up with other players and hear other players. But I'm super excited about this one. This is like a Transformers game I would have loved as a kid. I know it's not Transformers, but that's the first thing I thought of as soon as Dave sent this to me. Some other things about it is you're gonna be able to customize your mech to like your heart's like content.
I'm super glad that you brought this up because a lot of people are kind of talking about like these kind of classes that we talked about. Like you got the assault, you got the melee, you got the sniper, the recon support, all that stuff. These, if you've never played Armored Core, your mech is like so customizable. It's insane. So like, don't think just because like you're playing a support character, you're not gonna have like any type of, or like, don't think because you're a defensive mech that you're not gonna have the ability to like load yourself up with like homing missiles and stuff like that. It's like these are so kind of, I feel like these classes are so kind of loosely built together because these mechs are so customizable that like you could really kind of be any mech you want and just kind of make it your own thing.
Like the super abilities are where is going to make this like mech like the role that it is. And I mean, the people that if you've played the beta or you're in the beta right now, like let us know if we're like missing anything because we haven't got to play it yet. I just put my request to join, and I hope that I get into it. But yeah, let us know if we're missing anything with that kind of thing. But I think like Dave's saying is you'll be able to customize your mech to how you want to play in addition to the role that you're playing.
Exactly. And if you're just a fan of just like cosmetic customization too, I mean, what I've seen so far is like you can customize like accent paint colors on this one little part of your shoulder blade, and I'm just like, this is insane. You could make any mech that you want. You could make Optimus Prime if you wanted to.
Other than that, I think it looks really cool. I'm really excited about this one.
I'm really excited for this one too. And honestly, guys, you know that this is not a game that's typically on my radar. But this one is definitely on my radar. Shout out to them. This looks like an amazing game, and I think it's gonna be something huge. I really do think this is gonna be something huge.
And with this game, I think this is their first game too. Yeah, it's their first game as well. So, and they're already putting stuff out that looks really cool and really exciting. And like Dave said, the feedback it's positive feedback from the beta players, and I hope to get in, and I can't wait for the full release of the game.
Yeah, do you have the developer up by any chance?
Amazing Season?
Yeah, Amazing Season, that's right.
Season or Season? I don't know.
Yeah, it's C-Sun spelled. Yeah. Shout out to them. Game looks amazing. If you guys are into this style of game, definitely put it on your radar because I think it's gonna be sick. Like I said, not typically a game I'm interested in. I'm interested in.
And if you're interested in joining the closed beta, they have a link in their Steam page. So if you want to try getting in that, you can do it that way.
Yeah, we'll leave a link down below.
Yeah.
But oh,
Dave, flip the coin.
Let's flip the coin
For our next draft.
It's me. You introduce it.
All right. So next, what we're going to do is a draft of the best Transformers. As this game gives us Transformer vibes, I thought it was appropriate to do, or Dave thought it was appropriate to do Transformers.
We were on the exact same page.
Yeah,
here.
we were.
Yeah, we were. I think secretly we just wanted to do a draft of the best Transformers ever.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the draft of the best Transformers ever, and I'm gonna be super basic because my number one pick is Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
It just had to
It was
be,
on
right?
yeah.
It
I
just
feel like it's one of
it's-
those things, like if you didn't pick them, you get slack. If you
Right.
did pick them, you're going to get slack. So
We're getting slack either way. I kind of wanted second pick for this one, but that's okay.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Well,
Go ahead.
Dave,
Take
my
number 2.
first pick, I am not going to go as basic. I'm still going to go basic, but not quite as the top dog of the evil side. So no Megatron for me. So my first pick is Starscream.
You're gonna let me get Optimus Prime and Megatron?
I don't like Megatron.
I love Megatron.
I don't know. I think
I-
Starscream is so much cooler in my opinion. I know he's
Starscream-
kind of like, hey, Megatron's like, you're my bad word, but you can say it for me if you want.
He's the right hand man.
Yeah, there we go. But
Yeah, no.
also the do everything, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
scream at you as you do it wrong. So
Okay, all right.
yeah, I still love Starscream.
It's a good pick, but I
Yeah.
just can't. We just can't let Megatron just sit out here. Number
Yeah,
2
I
is
agree.
Megatron.
Whoa, how did I know? Just kidding. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a little basic for my second pick. My second pick is Bumblebee.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah, he's so cool. I
Yeah.
know, like, I don't know. I just love him.
No,
So
that's a great pick. Okay, number 3 on my list. I'm gonna get off the basic train here, and we are gonna go to a very different type of Transformer. But I'm gonna take Grimlock, and all I have to say is that
Ooh.
he is a Transformer T-Rex. So
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah,
Dang it.
no more explanation needed.
Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit different as well. So my third pick is Ratchet.
Ooh, that was on my list.
I like him because he can heal everybody. Like he's the ambulance one. I think that's pretty cool.
That's a great pick.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 4. I'm gonna do this before I can't because I'll lose the draft. But I'm gonna go with Unicron. He's a mechanic.
Ooh. Okay,
He's
that's a little cheating.
Is it cheating?
He's a planet. But I'll let you have it. I'll let you have
No,
it.
we'll eliminate it then.
No.
No,
Take him. Take
No,
him.
because it was number 10. It was number 10 on my list, and I only took
Okay.
him because I didn't want you to take him. So if we
Oh, yeah.
agree, no Unicron.
Yeah, that's basically cheating. He's a planet. He's
okay,
a planet transformer.
Okay. All right. Then number 4 on my list is going to be Soundwave
Ooh, that one was on my list.
because I'm retro, and I just love that he turns into a cassette tech.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's like the most this is like the most retro transformer ever.
Okay. All right. Oh, am I on my fourth pick too?
4th pick.
Obviously, I'm on my fourth pick. There's a hair on my chest. Sorry, distracted. my fourth pick. My fourth pick is Ironhide.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, he's so cool.
You know what I hate about Ironhide though?
What's that?
They don't show him out any love ever. He always dies
Yeah,
and everything.
that's true.
Why do they always kill Ironhide?
Maybe because he's got like a name that sounds like he should survive. They're like, you know what? He's got to die.
He's like the scapegoat of the Transformers
Yeah,
movies.
that's true.
Guys, stop killing Ironhide and stuff.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
like him.
Yeah, I agree.
Ironhide for life. Okay, my last pick. There's 2 left that I want, and I'm not really sure which one. All right, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna take. Oh God, I'm gonna take Prowl. Give me some Prowl.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That's a
he's
good one.
he's like the Spock of the Transformers, and he
Mhm,
turns into a cop car.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
sick.
that's pretty cool. Okay, see, I got a lot too here. Okay, I'm gonna do it. My final pick of the draft is Jazz.
That was the one I was debating against.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He's the coolest, dude,
Yeah,
and he
he's
turns
just,
he
he's
turns
just vibing.
into a Porsche,
Yeah,
bruh.
a vibe,
He's a
a
vibe.
vibe car.
Jazz is a vibe.
Yeah. So
Hashtag jazz is a vibe.
start the movement. I don't know why I did. What was that? I don't know why I did that.
I don't
mean,
know.
next.
We're
Starts
not
the movement.
we're not starting any more hashtags.
Yeah. Is this a hashtag? Is that what they do for hashtag?
Is this hashtag?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
We're
that's
making a
hashtag. Whatever.
All right,
Jazz-
no
jazz
hashtags
for
here.
But yeah, that was the draft of the best Transformers of all time. Guys, let us know down in the comments which is your favorite Transformer of all time. And we're sorry that we started with Optimus Prime, but
Yeah,
you know,
basic.
we
But
are
honorable mentions real
basic.
quick. I have Hot Rod, Shockwave, and that's it. That's all I got for now. There's over 100 that I could have put on this list, but
We actually took all of mine. All of mine were drafted
really?
this time.
interesting. That's pretty
I'm
cool.
so basic.
All right, moving on to our last game of this episode, and that is Afterblast by Lumino Games, and it's coming out Q4 of 2024.
This is the roguelike. This is where I got.
Yes.
This is
This
where I got confused. Yes.
Roguelite.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited about this one.
Are
I'm not
you?
gonna lie. Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Please
'Cause
do.
It looks cool. It looks cool to me, and we can kind of explain it as we pull up the trailer.
Yes.
Right. Meow.
Let's take a look at
There's
this
no cats.
trailer. Yeah, there's no cats in this game. What are
Yeah,
you
there's no
talking? What are you talking about?
Well, I'll tell you why I did a meow, but overall, it's a very fast-paced roguelite FPS. And the whole idea is the world is being overtaken by gods, and
He just hit us with a meow.
I know. And I'll tell you why I meowed, because it reminds me of a different game that we haven't talked about, but I've played. But overall, I just like how bright and how fast-paced it is. And the whole idea is here, just before I ruin it. The story is that you're in a galaxy far away, and a planet that was once peaceful is now full of destruction and war caused by a massive blast. Doesn't say what the massive blast is, but look how cool that boss was. Oh, here we go. Dave doesn't like this game.
I'm okay. It's not that I don't like the game. I just I just was searching for some okay. I don't know. I mean different. Like I was looking for something to be like, oh, this is different, but I just never got that moment.
I think it got me that moment because
It's a roguelike horde shooter.
yeah, but they're fun to me, Dave.
Like, why is it any different from any other one?
Because it's two people making this game, two dudes all by themselves.
That's pretty cool.
And I think it's supposed to be co-op. It doesn't say how many players you're gonna be able to co-op with. And I think that's really fun. It's randomly generated maps. But essentially, okay, I'm going back to the story.
Go back to the story. I sidetracked it.
So the story is, so this big old blast came, and now the gods are form an evil alliance and trying to get the crystal of eternity. So they're trying to gain more power, and you play as a chosen one guided by an unseen god to defend the planet. So it's like a story that's already been done before, but still, I think it looks really cool to me. And I guess I don't have much else to say. Maybe you're right. Maybe this game doesn't have anything groundbreaking, but to me, the game looks sound. It looks like the mechanics are going to play well. It plays very fast paced, and I'm excited about that.
I mean, if you guys are excited for this game, I'm excited for the game. And you know, we love small developers here. We love small developers. And like the idea that this game was created by two people is absolutely insane. Like congratulations to them. Like that's amazing. And like I hope the game succeeds. I don't know. I think it needed just like one thing. Like we talked about it with the Ultra Mega Cats, right? The exact same thing. There's nothing groundbreaking about Ultra Mega Cats, but they're cats. Like that was like the one thing where I was like, oh, this is kind of different. Like this, it didn't have that one thing that made it different. I wish that I could find something where I was like, this makes it unique, but it just feels so generic that I couldn't find anything.
See, I don't know if it looks generic. I mean, like, I can see where you're going with that, but in terms of like how would I like in games, and it's something new to me, like I don't know. Now you're starting to make me question if I really like this game. But to me, like the things I've watched with this game, it got me excited because of how fast it is. The gun plays, like all the guns are going to be different, have different abilities. You're going to play with different abilities, and I'm curious to see what those abilities are, if that makes sense. And I think another thing I really like about it is, so with the roguelite, they're also going to have different tiers of difficulty. So it's going to be normal, hard, expert, and even nightmare, I guess, is the last one. And each of those difficulties reveals a newer room, like a harder room to get to. And I thought that was cool.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like I love the idea of making games super hard. You know, I love super hard games. I really do. I mean, I love when people are like getting ready to throw the controller at the wall because they're that frustrated. That's like the game that I love. I don't know if it's just because I hate myself. But that's the game that I love. I think that these guys, I don't know, guys, if you ever see this, like, I think you just need to like maybe, I don't know, like market it differently. Like, let us know what these abilities are. Like, or like maybe introduce some type of like new aspect into the game. Like, I just need to see something that's like makes it stand out.
So when I go through these trailers, that's kind of what I'm looking for, something that stands out to me. And what stood out to me in this game is how fast it was and like how chaotic it was. Because there's other first person roguelites I've played, or just shooter roguelites in general, where I felt like they weren't very chaotic. Like Hellboy, I felt like that wasn't very chaotic. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like that was way too slow. The game I was going to compare this to is called Gunfire Reborn, roguelite first person shooter, and you were very grounded in that game. Like you couldn't get in the air, you couldn't like jump up really high. And I will say one thing that is really cool in this game that they didn't show in this trailer, it has platforming elements. Like they have rooms where you have to actually platform across different spaces, and I thought that was really cool.
See, I love that, and I wish that I wish they showed that more in the trailer. And like going back to the trailer though, I just I didn't really get that I didn't really get that much of a vibe of like a fast paced.
Really? See, that's all I'm getting. Like, it's moving so well. Like, I think it's moving so chaotic, and its traversals, like they're ziplining themselves across the map, and like,
I think it's very. I think it's a game that looks like it moves very fast, but when you really get into the core details of it, I think it's going to be very easy to, kind of like time out the patterns here. Like in the trailer of, when those two things are like coming out of the ground, that boss fight where the two like snakes or whatever are coming out of the ground.
yeah,
When they're shooting, you see when they like shot their attack and it started to do that spread.
yeah.
That's kind of like a classic, like this is gonna be a learn the timing.
Well, I could argue, Dave, you do the same thing with Souls likes because you're always like, you got to learn the pattern. You got to learn the pattern.
Right.
Don't you tell me that?
Yeah, but in a Souls like that makes sense. Like
How does it not make sense in this, Dave?
I don't know because like a Souls like isn't fast paced. Like
Okay, but this is.
that's why I don't think it makes sense because it's like a pattern type of thing in like a quote unquote fast paced scenario.
You're losing me. You're losing me, Dave.
I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be very easy to time out these like
Well, I feel like if
To,
they
like,
tried, if
learn
they
these
slowed that
movesets.
down, I think they want. Oh, I spilled something. I'm breaking stuff now.
Oh,
You're making me
no.
angry. Just kidding. No, but I think like you can't have the boss be so hard in this type of game. You know what I mean? Because if it's moving so fast and like you have to slow it down for the boss, like I don't think it works that way. Like I feel like you have to be able to pick up what this boss is doing fairly quickly if you're trying to keep up that speed.
I hate to keep using the word generic, but I feel like it was like I picked up on that pattern in 0.2 seconds of a trailer. Like a Souls like you pick up on that pattern after dying 40 times.
Yeah, and I don't want to die 40 times, Dave.
I mean, I just like I picked it up in like 0.2 seconds.
Okay, but that's maybe that's phase
trailer.
one. Maybe that's phase one, and maybe that's easy difficulty. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I
like,
mean,
I think this is gonna be a game where it's probably not gonna be that expensive. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you're hating on it for looking generic, but you're not looking past how cool it looks.
I mean, if you're excited for it,
I'm very excited.
If you're excited for it, I'm glad you're excited for it. And again, I never want to crap on small developers. I mean, 2 dudes making a game is absolutely insane. For me, I just wish that I was able to pinpoint. I wish I could come to you and be like, there's this one thing that makes this game super unique. And I just wasn't able to find it. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that like the way that they presented the game to us, they may have alluded to that part and I didn't pick up on it, or they completely left that part out, or it's not there. But I mean, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I wish it all the best. I mean, if you guys are into, roguelite horde shooters, you're gonna love this game. And to be honest, to be fair, this isn't my typical type of game anyway. You know what I mean? So for an audience like me, it really needs something for me to get pulled in. So it makes sense that if I didn't see it, I'm not really interested. And that doesn't mean I think the game's crap. It just means like for me, I'm a very different audience, and I need that one thing to pull me in, and I just didn't see it.
Right, and that comes to the saying, different strokes for different folks kind of deal. And to me, I think what attracted me is more of as I read about it. Like, so the trailer, I kind of agree with you. Like, sure, it has some generic feel, but also like I can also see like the variety of the guns, where like the sniper has electricity shooting, and then the rocket launcher, you can shoot lots of rockets at once, and like that's really cool to me. And then I just broke it down in that sense. And I think the simple but story, I think, is fun. Like, I think that's pretty cool.
We wish them all the best. I mean, honestly, guys, if you guys are into the roguelites, you're into the horde shooters, this is probably going to be something that you're going to love. Again, small developer, we love supporting the small devs. 2 dudes making this game is absolutely incredible. This is probably going to be a game where I'm glad Adam's excited for it because it's striking my curiosity. I'm probably going to let him play it first, and I'll take a peek of him playing it and see what it's really, really all about. But yeah, we wish it all the best. I tried.
Thumbs up for me. Chaotic, mindless roguelike. I'm in.
Thumbs.
Dave's not sure.
You know what? Thumbs up for me too. Great.
Yeah. I did it.
Great job, guys. Yeah.
So-
It's only because if this was a AAA or like if this was a bigger studio, you would not get a thumbs up. But two guys making a game is incredible. So
Yeah, I agree.
wishing it all the best.
So, but yeah, let us know in the comments if you're excited about this one. And that now brings us to our next draft. Dave, flip the coin. Oh, wait, it's a blind ranking. I lied.
This is a blind ranking?
Yeah.
Good talk.
So, I will blind rank you first. Are you ready?
Okay, hit me.
Since this game has gods and it's not really seeing those gods yet, but anyway, this has gods in it that are overtaking the world. So this is going to be a blind ranking of the best Greek gods ever. Are you ready?
This is gonna get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You ready?
Hit me. Number one.
Number one, or your first option is Poseidon, the god of the sea.
Ooh, I like sea stuff. I'm gonna put it at 3.
3, okay, safe.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the safe pick. I love.
Yeah.
I love sea creatures, especially crabs.
Mhm.
Crabs.
Oh,
crab-
here we go. The crab talk again.
Crabs are dope.
Yeah. All right. Next option is Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty.
Goddess of love, baby. Number one. Let's put it number one.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Let's do it. Number one.
Yeah. What's wrong with love? You put love at the top all the time.
Love.
Trumps all.
Triumphs over anything.
Yeah.
Boom.
I like it. Okay.
Everybody love everybody.
ELE. Your your next option is Nike, the goddess of victory.
Do you know that like when I saw this, I was like, it is like Nike the brand. Is this why Nike the brand is Nike the brand?
Yep.
That's insane.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Nike fan, but after I
Ooh.
read this, I was like,
What do you like if you don't like Nike?
I just don't think they're that great.
Okay, but what do you like more than Nike?
I mean, what are we talking about?
Like sportswear.
Sportswear?
Yeah.
I mean, well, for shoes, I like Converse.
Okay.
For like athletics, I'm an Adidas guy.
Adidas. Okay. Did you know Nike owns Converse though? So you like Nike?
Do they own Converse?
Yep.
Because the Converses I've been getting had these like Nike insoles in them now, and I was like, "Ooh, these are definitely way more comfortable."
Yeah. Nike owns Converse.
I mean, I guess Nike's all right then.
There you go.
I just
See?
don't like the swoop. Like the
The
swoop,
swoop
is
so cool.
Is it cool though, or is it just kind of like?
Dave, it's so cool.
It's
I made it
kinda-
into a rug. It's so cool.
Okay, it's kind of cool.
If it's a rug,
Okay.
it has to be cool.
If it's a rug, it must be cool. Okay, I'm gonna put Nike at 2 because being being victorious is great. Winning is great.
Okay. So all you got left next is 4 and 5. And so your follow-up option is Ares, the god of war.
4.
Okay. I don't think you're gonna be happy with your last pick, Dave.
You did me dirty, and you did
I'm
it
just
on
going
purpose.
I'm going down my list exactly how I had it. And so your number 5 is Zeus, the god of sky and thunder, the god of all gods. That kind of sucks for you.
Dave loses the blind ranking.
You sure did. I mean, let's be honest though. You had love and beauty at 1. That's pretty. I think that's appropriate.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. 2, you had Nike. Again, you want to be victorious. 3 was Poseidon, god of the sea. You probably could argue he could have been 4, but he's so cool. I like Poseidon as well.
Yeah.
So. And then Ares could have been 5. Nobody wants war.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I put being loving and successful
Yeah.
at the top of the list. Like
Exactly.
How could I? You know what? I stick by what I've said.
Yeah, I agree. Zeus
Okay.
at 5.
Zeus at 5. He's kind of a
Yeah.
jerk.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, here we go. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Oh,
Okay,
introduce
this is
Oh, there you go.
Adam's blind ranking of the best Greek mythology gods ever.
I'm ready.
Number 1 on the list, Athena, goddess of wisdom.
Goddess of wisdom. It's very important to be very wise.
Right?
Do I want to put her at number 1? I'll put her at number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saving the number 1 spot. That's a good pick.
I'd like to put it at 3, but I think she's a little higher than 3.
Okay, yeah, saving one's a good saving one's a good idea.
Yeah,
okay, next up on the list we have Prometheus, the god of fire.
Ooh. Fire
know
is
this-
important.
Yeah, do you know the story of Prometheus?
Mm-mm.
Prometheus is known from as stealing the power of fire from the top tier gods and giving it to humankind.
Hmm. I feel like that's really important.
He gave us fire. That's where
He
we came
did.
from. That's all. That's all of life right there.
I'm putting it at 3.
That's all of life right there. Adam puts it at 3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No.
I think you're gonna give me one that I'm really excited about. So
Okay.
I'm holding out.
Okay. All right. Next up on the list, we have Apollo, the god of music.
Oh, so now you kind of. I love music.
Right? Everybody loves music.
Shoot. I'm gonna kind of screw myself if I put Apollo at 1. I'm gonna put Apollo at 4.
He's holding out for somebody special.
Ah, crap. Okay, I'm gonna put Apollo at 1. I'm putting Apollo at 1.
Doing it? He's
Yeah,
doing
'cause
it.
now I think you may have dogged me, so I'm putting Apollo at 1. I don't want to get screwed over. So
Ooh, I'm wondering who he was waiting for. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see if it's this one. Next up on the list, we have Hades, god of the underworld.
yep, I'm glad I didn't put him any higher. Hades at 5.
Oof. No love
I
for the
don't-
underworld.
I mean, like he's kind of like. If I'm basing it off the Hercules movie, he's so bad. You know what I mean? Like the Disney Hercules movie. Yeah. Nobody likes Hades. And then
Nope.
what he did to his son in the Hades game made him die over and over trying to escape. Yeah, no.
No love for the underworld from
5.
Adam. Okay.
5.
All right.
No,
Solid.
I love the underworld. I don't like the god.
Solid 5 from Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And Adam's last pick is going to be Morpheus, god of dreams.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's cool, right?
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool story. If you guys are into Greek mythology, read the story of Morpheus, god of dreams.
I used to love Greek mythology.
Oh
Like,
my god, dude, I love it.
in English class, like I would not read a single book that we were assigned, but when it came to anything Greek mythology, I would read it like 3 times through because I thought it was so cool.
It's so cool, man. All the stories are so sick.
Yeah. Who's your
Yeah.
favorite like god or goddess?
My favorite god of all
Mhm.
time?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. That's a tough call. I think
Like I know we
probably-
just did this blind ranking, but like if you could pick your number 1 of all number 1s.
I mean, I think I'm going to stick with Aphrodite, but Athena is definitely like a very close second.
Mm-hmm,
Goddess of wisdom is clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, being
Very clutch.
being like intelligent is a very underrated skill.
I agree. Sorry, I thought I heard a mouse and I was like looking at my floor. Okay, my number 1, and I think it's just the fact that he's super fast and like can get to all the different gods really quick, is Hermes.
He's like the Flash of the gods.
Yeah, and that's how I
Yeah.
like him. With
No.
the little wing feet, so cool.
Was that the number 1 you were holding out for?
No, because so when I was looking him up, they didn't like describe him as a god of anything. Like they really just called him the messenger god, where he just delivered messages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's kind of like yeah, when I was looking him up too, it was like kind of weird that like some of these were like, is it a god? Kind
Yeah.
of.
So I mean, if I'm going like straight god, I'd probably put like Poseidon pretty high because that's pretty cool. I don't
Sea
know.
is dope.
Yeah, I agree. I
The
agree.
the ruler of crabs.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not anymore. But let us know in the comments, how would you rank these Greek gods? Because it's so cool. Mythology is so cool. And this is just Greek. And then you have the Norse mythology and a bunch of other mythologies. It's all so cool.
It's
So-
all sick. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
guys are into some very interesting lore, just look up the Greek mythology
Yeah.
and go nuts. You got plenty to catch up on.
Great episode.
Great episode, dude. That was a great
Yeah,
episode.
that was very fun.
Super excited to have you back. Missed you a little bit while you were on break, but we are cruising into the. This was episode 45, wasn't it?
Episode 45.
That is insane, dude.
We almost have 50, almost half a century.
We almost have 50 episodes of this podcast. That's absolutely nuts. But yeah, thank you guys for everything. Super appreciate everything. We're going to keep it short and sweet because, again, the friend of the podcast, Storm, has ragged on me for just gushing at the end of these podcasts. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We love you guys very, very much. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the likes. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscribes. Adam, what you got for him?
If you're not following us on all social media, please make sure to do so. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to hippity tap the like button, hit the subscribe bell, to not miss any more of our episodes or shorts and all the good things because we're awesome and humble.
We're awesome and humble.
Yeah.
Hashtag we're awesome and humble. Love
Yeah.
you guys very, very much. We will see y'all on the next one. Peace out, nerds.
Whoa, what did you do?
I'm sorry. I was you got me all
Peace
rattled.
out, nerds. Jeez.
Hashtag humble and awesome.